Well, we have 3 different 3-colored cards that are all extremely powerful. I would not fault someone for just grabbing Seasons of Renewal for combo or Lethal Exploit for kill spell, but like we have 3 cards that if we have the decks for them, they're insane. I've done the Prodigy prototype deck. I'm not too fond of it. I think I'm going to go crazy and go with the Oni-Cult Anvil deck. If you get multiple copies of this, it's insane. If you get 1 copy, it kind of acts as a cat oven effect, which is a insane thing in Historic right now. Like, it was insane in Standard and you get banned. Igandra's Uprising is a damage source, but it doesn't help when you're behind. It just helps finish when you're ahead already. This one helps when you're behind, it helps when you're early game, and it cuts us towards an archetype, and I want to try to build an archetype right now. But like, if someone chose Lethal Exploit, if someone chose Akeba Reckoner Raid, I have no complaints. These are actually probably the correct pick, because they're just good cards that could go into any black deck. But I want to force the Oni-Cult Anvil. This is a mistake. I'm doing it anyways. All right. Oof. Light Pause is not good. It's just a 2-mana 2/2. Don't think beyond that. Selfless Samurai is a good card, but doesn't help with Oni-Cult. I think I'm just going to grab Kami's Flare. It's hard removal. It's 2 mana. It stays in our colors. Selfless Samurai is not bad at all, but we have a synergy of kind of wanting the Kami's Flare. I could see a lot of picks. Mukotai Ambusher, I could see someone picking. Debt to the Kami, I think it's a little too secure and not good enough. Selfless Samurai is good. Spinning Wheel Kick, I could see someone speculating for. Tales of Master Sashiro. I could see a lot of picks. I'm going to try to stay on plan, and you pick a good card that's on plan. Alright, Seismic Wave is just a good card. Another good... We're just getting Red Burn, and we'll have an Oni-Cult Anvil to help us get to the late game. Containment Construct could be nice. Chainfell Centipede. I don't want to get the bad artifact creatures. We'll get enough of these coming back around. Seismic Wave is basically a 3 damage spell, and it gets... There are certain decks that will spawn a bunch of 1/1 creatures, and Seismic Wave just clearing them all off can be quite devastating. Sunblade Samurai, I'm kind of interested in Containment Construct. We'll need some more... That's better in blue, where we have more cards that draw and discard. Alright, so like the Modern Age. This would have been where it's good to have Containment Construct. Alright. So we have Explosive Entry, Rabbit Battery, and that's basically our options. It looks like Black's getting taken, so we might have to just go deeper into Red. Red is a color that a lot of people have been saying is not good, so we're going to be picking Red and just saying, hey, we're going to be the guy who takes the open color. So I'm going to pick the Rabbit Battery. I'm not sure how good it is, but with Kami's Flare, I mean, this is an easy way to modify, just reconfiguring it onto something. It's a threatening card later on. We'll try the aggressive strat. Not sure how it will pay off. Here, I think I just grabbed the Lethal Exploit. We might have to switch over to Red-Blue or something. Red is definitely showing up. Lethal Exploit's a kill spell, so I never complain about it. And the fact is, with Rabbit Battery, it kind of could act as an additional kill, but we'll have 3 kill spells. And then a card that could win us the game if we get all the tools for it, but we have none of the tools right now. That's one of the big issues. I went with Oni-Cult Anvil because it was fun, but right now I'd rather have another Lethal Exploit or an Akeba Reckoner Raid right now. Alright, Reckoner Shakedown is a bad card. Scrounger could help with the Oni-Cult Anvil. Walking Skyscraper could be a finisher for the deck. Oof. These are not easy decisions. I'm going to try the Undercity Scrounger, just try to stick to the plan, but the lack of cards is making me feel like this plan is not going to work out. Just gave myself the mental preparation for it. Tawashi Sunshaper, I think, yeah, if we're black-red aggressive artifacts, this is where you want to be. We have 3 artifacts already, so... yeah, this just basically is another aggressive character. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Tawashi Sunshaper here. Explosive Entry, we only really want 1 or 2. Scrapyard Steelbreaker, just 4-mana 3/4. That's basically what it is. It's just a 4-mana 3/4. So I just see it as much more. Economy of Industry is a good top end for these sort of decks. So I might want one. I also want one explosive entry. I'm wondering if I just pick the Walking Skyscraper for the possibility of it. This is a tough one, because I don't see... If we're being this aggressive, this would be the very top end. And if this is the top end, we can't get to Skyscraper. So I think Industry beats out Skyscraper. We do want one explosive entry. I'm going to say more people are going to be taking the explosive entries than the Economy of Industries. Alright, Gift of Wrath, is it worth it? I'm going to sideboard the Suit Up, so we have the escape route of blue. Alright, Mukotai Ambusher could get us more value, like just pulling it back to the Rabbit Battery with it, gain some life leak. Yeah. Yeah. Looks like we basically cut off red pretty effectively. Papercraft Decoy is another two-mana artifact. How's everybody, Discrom93? Glad to have you here. We are drafting. I just got Oni-Cult Anvil, and I'm trying to force it. It's probably a bad idea. I'm going to state right now, we probably could have a stronger deck if we went like green-white or something like that. But I kind of want to try this Oni-Cult Anvil deck, so I've been forcing this red-black artifacts. Alright, second explosive entry is a bit poor. That shows me I should have gone with Economy of Industry. Do I pick the Arm Guard Familiar just to have that back out? I think I'm going to pick the explosive entry to make sure everyone knows, hey, I am the red deck, and they don't try to compete with me. Alright. Reckoner Shakedown or Kai's Pursuit. I actually would rather have Reckoner Shakedown because it at least can buff cards. But yeah, even though these cards are by color, they're not good. Spirit Sister's Call. At the beginning of your end step, choose target permanent in your graveyard. This is a lot of words to say this is a card for Constructed, not for Limited. And then we have Twin Shot Sniper, which is an insane card for this deck. It's an artifact, so it works with those synergies. It's a kill spell, so it just gives us our influx of kill spells. It's a creature that can act as a kill spell. It's a Law of Thieves at all is synergy or just good, natural good stuff. And we'll probably get the Economy of Industry on the rotation back. Nobody seems to be fighting us for red, so that will be good. Economy of Terrible Secrets. Otherwise, I don't have any enchantments, I don't believe. 6 artifacts. Yeah. Alright. Maybe we get the Ninja's Kunai later, but we're definitely taking this Twin Shot Sniper. I don't want anyone competing with us on red. Invoke Justice. Ironhoof Boar. Great card. So, channeling as just more pumping to be aggressive is awesome. Or just having this as a 6-drop is also pretty awesome. The cards that compete with it are not in our colors, so we just keep moving. Yep. Intercessor's Arrest is great. Invoke Justice, if you could play it, is amazing. Like, there are some amazing white cards, but we have 0 white cards ourselves. I'm pretty sure it was quite well competed for, so we're just going to stick with the color that's clean for us. Copy of Terrible Secrets is probably our next pick, but we're kind of... These packs have had, like, one good card, which means when they come back to us, it's not going to be good. Oof. So yeah, we're not picking a 3rd explosive entry. 2 is enough, if not too much. Again, no enchantments, so Economy of Terrible Secrets is not triggering. Okaiba Salvage also needs enchantments, not worth. So I guess we're going with Inkrise Infiltrator. This can, in the late game, just be... I've seen this card be threatening in the late game where you just hold up 4 mana and say go, and it's a 3/4 flyer. Like, this card is better than it looks, but it looks bad, is basically the issue. But we'll go with it. We'll go with it. We are 69% red, so the only thing is we've guaranteed red. I almost want to just grab Tomio's Completion because it's a good card and it gives us an escape route, but I'm going to try forcing it still. This was probably where the mistakes start piling up. Tawashi Sunshaper or High Speed Hoverbike? Alright. So, we have 8 creatures already. So here is my play. High Speed Hoverbike is a card that everyone kind of wants. It's always a pretty good card. Tawashi Sunshaper, I believe nobody's gonna be with me for red. So, and you need to be deep red to like it. So while I want the Tawashi Sunshaper a bit more, this card's not making it back around, this is. So I'm picking the High Speed Hoverbike on that ground. Network Terminal could be okay if that fails. High Speed Hoverbike is still a 2-drop. So I'm fine. Alright. So the reason you pick this steep, low curve is so you can pick up Experimental Synthesizer at will. Ghost Shintai is pretty nice, but it's not where we want to be. Yeah, we're just picking the Synthesizer up. I just do not want to have to compete for the Synthesizer. Like, if I'm a little wrong, that will be devastating. Alright, Okaiba Reckoner Raid is a great one-drop. Amazing that it got past that pick 6. This is a beautiful one-drop. You don't need synergy for this card to be amazing. And the fact that our synergy is just being aggressive, that's really good for us. Alright, Nezumi Prowler, just, yeah, another good ninja. 3-1, Death Touch Lifelink. A lot of good themes. Alright. Another Seismic Wave or another Iron Hook Boar. Vicious Assault. 9 creatures, 9 non-creatures. Wow. It's kind of funny. And we have so many artifacts. We have, like, every card is like an artifact or a removal spell at this point. Just about. Do I want another removal spell? Yes, I think I want another removal spell. And so this is the value, even... Oh, hey, we could get our Kami of Industry, or now that we have the Experimental Synthesizer and such, we could go for the Ninja's Kunai. The Kami of Industry will be bringing back quite a few threatening fiends. This is a tough one. I just wanted the Ninja's Kunai because if there's a Kami of Industry in the third pack, there is zero. We've proven, guaranteed, there is no competition. Terrible Secrets, we have 1 enchantment now, but that is not enough to justify. I'm going to sideboard the Brutsu. I'm not sure I want it in my deck, but if I do, it'll be great. Sideboard the Salvage, just black is a color that might be competed with. And here's why I said the Tawashi Sunshaper makes it back around. There we are. More aggression. Nice, sharp, low curve. Ambitious Assault could make it into the deck as a top end. And having 2 of them would be the most you'd want. Just enough modify with things like Rabbit Battery and Explosive Entry. Alright. Reckoner Bakebuster, I think, is exactly... So yeah, Reckoner Bakebuster now, Kami of Industry next. This card, so it's a cheap, it's a vehicle that crews really easily, it draws me more cards, and it's an artifact. Like, if this just said, if we removed everything, it just had that second ability where you remove a charge card, it draws a card, that comes into play with 3, that would make it almost playable. The fact that also is a 4/4 vehicle just makes it spectacular. Not even a question. The only reason I'm still here is to try to figure out what I'm picking on the next way around, which is probably just that Kami of Industry. See if I want it. With this, we now have the cards we want. Twisted Embrace, more removal. I will have to figure out my numbers of creatures to non-creatures, as it looks like my math is going pretty south. We have more than enough 2-drops, though we might want to stick with that to stay aggressive. If we get a second this is a deck where if we could get 3 synthesizers, we will find a way to play all 3. Synthesizer, because it exiles the top card and you have to play it that turn, is a lot harder to do, but Farewell, pretty cute. Not for our deck, but a pretty cute card. Nezumi Prowler, just more of that artifact, more ninjutsu with Death Touch and Lifelink. It's basically a kill spell and a 3/1 at the same time. And it gives us some life gain in case we're dealing with another aggressive deck somehow. Alright. Reinforced Ronin or Enormous Energy Blade. So, I'm going to go with the Reinforced Ronin, I think. It's very useful for our deck. The ability to channel if we need to, and otherwise be an artifact that constantly comes into play. And all those effects is awesome. Enormous Energy Blade is actually pretty good for these... Better for these decks than you'd expect. That being said, I don't have any... The cards you usually want, there's Virus Beetles. You usually want Virus Beetles for the Enormous Energy Blade, and I don't have any of those. But no matter what, Reinforced Ronin's just a good card for this sort of deck. So Shattered States Era is the worst of these sagas. If I want Finisher, I have Ambitious Assaults. So I think we don't have a card here we want to pick. So I think because we don't have a card, we just go for a value and we pick one of these, grab one of these uncommons, just because it adds to our set, our cards owned. Acquisition Octopus, I think I don't have any of those. Gain 1 is very nice. Dockside Chef is amazing. Okay, so Toshiro Uezawa is like the most winning card and one of the most winning black cards, black uncommons in the format. But Dockside Chef, like, we have 16 artifacts. This thing could sacrifice anything to draw a card, basically. And it's cheap. If this was not the deck where Dockside is this good, I would have chosen Life of Toshiro. No question. And unfortunately, this is too late for it to rotate back around. Alright, Aki Everkeeper. I'm just going to make sure we have enough creatures, so I'm going to grab the Aki. We are definitely thinning out cards. Alright. With 16 artifacts, I think a Dragon Spark Reactor is perfectly acceptable. It allows us the ability to go to late game if we need to, basically. I'm going to pull out at least one explosive entry. And we still have access to that Kami of Industry if we want it. I'm not playing the Aki Warplane, it's just not a good card. In case I really just want to go down the removal path, I guess. We're now at the cards that are basically dead. We are just trying to decide what cards we want. I think this will be a 16-land deck, so we're just trying to figure out which ones we want to throw back. Scrapyard's not worth it. Again, no real cards we want to play. And because people are wondering, we will not... It's extremely rare, if not impossible, for us to face our opponents. So there's no point in us hate drafting to pick the best card to prevent them from playing it. Alright. Alright, so we need to figure out what cards we're removing. Alright. So... our average curve is 2.3. Let's start with this. T creature. Separate our creatures from our non-creatures. And with our removal, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 removal cards. Basically. These two I'm treating as creatures. Oof. There are 15 creatures, and basically 16, 17, 18 creatures. So we're good on creatures. We could actually knock out a few creatures and be okay. Let's look at how we modify for things like Aki. So we have Rabbit Battery. We have Twisted Embrace, so that's 2. We have 3 with Explosive Entry. And 4 with Kunai. I don't think that's enough. We will be taking out at least 1. We can take out 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 cards that we're happy playing on turn 2. I think that's okay. Alright. So I wonder if I just want to take out 1 more and then go down to 15 lands. Is this a deck that can function on 15 lands? Let's look at... Okay, card draw. Card draw. 1... 2, 3. I'm not going to count cycling right now. We only have 3 cards that draw cards, so 15 lands is a little scary. And there's no blood in this format. I think the Undercity Scrouger isn't really useful for us. The Oni-Cult Anvil, having its effect alone should be good enough. Like just being able to sacrifice a creature before it dies to loot it or something could be good enough. So I don't think Undercity Scrouger is necessary. Alright. 16 artifacts. Yeah, Dragon Spark Reactor is very much playable with this. 52 to 36. I'm going to try just knocking out one land each. So, this is our deck. We might have to change it because we are down to 15 lands, which is quite a threateningly low amount. But given that a good portion of our deck is playable at 2 lands, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards out of 40. A little over 1 in 10. Let's see. Yeah, 3 and 20. 3 and 20 are the cards that cannot be played on 2 lands. Alright, we'll try it. We have to be aggressive. That is guaranteed. Yeah, I'm not sure about this, but we just decided to force Oni-Cult Anvil. That was a mistake, and that's okay. Alright. Oh, right. Because we got downranked, we are back in bronze, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about threats. I could turn 1 Rapid Battery, turn 2 Tawashi, keep attacking, then next turn Experimental Reinforced, attack with a 4 Tawashi. The one problem here is that they went first, not me, and I'm an aggressive deck. Alright. We're going to start putting in the damage. Reinforced Ronin is more for when it can get through, and I don't have other one-drop plays. The fact that it could cycle itself later is just the toppings, the finisher. And 3 lands is basically enough lands for the most of this game for us. Yeah, I'll offer a trade. With my Song Shaper. And if they attack, I think I take the 3 and they just get ready to attack with a 4 power Tawashi next turn. Alright. So they just needed to make sure they got their land fixing. The green-white generally is good at going into the late game, so they might not attack. Okay. I think I beat them in aggression, so go ahead and get in. Alright. So I'm going to start with Experimental Synthesizer. Gives us a buff and gets us a card. The majority of our deck is playable. There are 5 cards in our deck that are not playable off of this. 5 out of 30. That is a 1 in 6. So 5 out of 6 times, this gets us a good card, a playable card. Ninjutsu has to be from the hand, so unfortunately I cannot play that. Actually, yeah, so ninjutsu from the hand. Okay, to hand. From your hand, yep. Just want to make sure that was all working as I expected. And I'm gonna go with the reinforced Ronin play. I could still develop Dockside Chef. I just don't have to attack with it. So now I'm attacking for 7 here. And basically, if they want on Wanderer's Intervention, my Tawashi Song Shaper, I am okay with that. Because that's why they're leaving up 2 white mana. That's the only reason I could think of to have a kill spell ready. This was an unfortunate draw. As I said, we had a 1 in 6. I'm not sure if I accounted for that in my 1 in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did account for that. So yeah, that was just the 1 in 5 unlucky moment. Alright. Still... Okay, so if they block the Rabbit Battery, I'm mostly okay with that. Alright. So unfortunately, I lose that. But present more threats. And we have them down to 12 health. Inkrise Infiltrator. This is where it's good because its Flight allows us to just get on through. Again, having an unplayable off of Experimental Synthesizer is unfortunate. Alright. So they're now showing they can be aggressive too. I don't care. I think I just attack for 5 and tell them, hey, have another combat trick like that. Another combat trick that is considered bad. And if you do, I have a lethal exploit. Do I just want a lethal exploit now? I think I want them to lose their Imperial Subduer. And they're playing Light the Way. They might play a second, which is why I waited. There we are. 2 for 1 them. If they take 5 now, they're taking 5 the next turn. Like, they have to find a solution to this. They should block the Psalm Shaper, always, not the Ronin. Oof. Alright, they're at 7 health. And, like, I'm threatening lethal. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With Ironhoof board, I will have lethal. So, they need to present a response to what I've been doing. And Light the Way is not going to cut it. If they attack here, that is just absolutely a mistake. Alright. No artifacts. Alright, so I'm going to reinforce Ronin. Attack with all. And I think I have Ironhoof Boar lethals now. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to Ironhoof Boar. Pump this up. And that's lethal. Yeah, they were just being aggressive when they couldn't. And I was punishing them for it. Very simple. Light the Way is a really hard card to get to work. The fact that they have 2 of them is quite baffling, but this actually makes them better prepared for my more aggressive deck, and my aggressive deck still won out. Matchup with silver players. Alright. I mean, I'm keeping this. This is a question of what I play first. I mean, turn 1, we're reinforced Ronin and hanging them for 2, because we can. And I think we do Tawashi, and then the next turn, the Oni-Cult stuff. Alright, so now I can Experimental Synthesizer. Okay. So the question is, do I want an Oni-Cult into Reinforced Ronin, or do I want... I think I want an Experimental Synthesizer. See why I draw. Again. Only 6 cards in my deck cannot be played. Off of this. Perfect. Yeah, Tawashi and Reinforced Ronin just being a nice powerhouse of a combo. I can later Oni-Cults. Alright. So if, assuming no changes, I'm going to just Oni-Cult Anvil and Reinforced Ronin, attack for another 7. With that, I can sacrifice the Experimental Synthesizer. I think that's worth. I think we want the aggression now. And this causes them to lose the life. This causes us to get more cards. And, like, look at this position. They're at 5 health. And they finally get their first creature, which is either going to get Seismic Waved or Kami Flared. Alright. So let's see. So I'm going to Kami Flare the first striker. Hold up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep. So we kill those, and we just attack phase. This brings them to 1. Oh. I miscounted. 5. I thought I was only dealing... Huh. Did the Kami Flare trigger? I don't have a modified creature. I'm trying to figure out why they're at -2. I think that's just a bug, because they were at 5 previously. Dragon Spark into Synthesizer Ronin. I don't have my 2-drop I want, but I do have some late game value engine. In case anyone's wondering, Synthesizer, it's only until the end of my turn, so is not a card you play on turn 1 despite being a 1-mana play. I think I actually just developed the Papercraft decoy. Alright. I can attack, discard the Iron Hoof Boar. Alright. And if I do, I want Okaiba Reckoner Raid on the same turn. Block. And they're like, oh, he's going to draw a card but lose advantage. We're just going to use this, get ourselves some good damage, kill their threats, and keep developing. Dragon Spark Reactor should be good closer. Memory. Do I sacrifice the Papercraft decoy to make sure the Dragon Spark gets the triggers? No. Unexpected. That being said, I am going to Experimental Synthesizer first, because I think we are doing that this turn. Yep. Okay. And we're playing this, even though it goes back to my hand, because it puts a trigger on the Dragon Spark, and basically gives us inevitability. Or it doesn't even basically give us inevitability, it gives us inevitability. Alright. And they now have blockers. Start with this. Nice. Okay, tap this down. Which allows our Papercraft decoy to swing in for another 2. And we are close to just Dragon Spark Reactoring a finish off of them. Actually, we have it. Yeah. We crew this, sacrifice it, they lose 1 life, attack again, and then just pop the Dragon Spark Reactor and they're dead. They need some way to stop a Hover Bike. I don't think there's no Tangle Trap in this. They need Fade into Antiquity. That's what they need right now. Fade into Antiquity or Bust. Oh, close enough. That's close enough to Fade into, and they have to take the Dragon Spark Reactor. Alright. So, let's see. I think I just attack with all. And I could just, yeah, I could start by Kami's flaring the Bearer of Memory. Get that out of the way. So they have less blockers. Perfect. And then I can sacrifice this. Give myself another 1/1, causing me to lose more life. Alright, 2 health already. So even though they had an answer to my Dragon Spark Reactor... Yep. Oni-Cult Anvil, just doing some work. That Dragon Spark Reactor was threatening lethal, so it needed to be dealt with first. Ooh. Have a time frame, making it look like I went 0-3, and still make it... and still be like a winning record. We'll try it. This is the part of our deck that we never got to see. We actually have too many lands, is our issue right now. I'm just gonna develop the Nezumi Prowler. I can ninjutsu it. I just realized we are all just ninja. We're just a bunch of ninjas. I have a lethal exploit if I need it. Yep. Let's just get our damage in. Why not? Force them to use combat tricks now, if they have any. Alright. Next turn, I might just have to hardcast Mukotai. We have drawn... Despite having 15 lands, we've drawn too many. 15 lands was the correct decision for this deck. Just flat out. Alright. Perfect. Oh, God. And we're going to just Kami's Flare, gain rid of the Life Leaker. I do not care about their high-speed hover bike, honestly. I think they are winning currently, because we are running out of cards, effectively. I feel like this is a mistake. They're being aggressive when we have a life-linking threat, you know? So I can Rabbit Battery, Nezumi Prowler, giving itself Death Touch and Lifelink, reconfigure onto the Prowler, I'm at a ton of life, that's a threat. That is a threat. If they don't attack, I can't swing back. This is why Seismic Wave is so good. Alright. So let's see, I can do that. Burn this guy up. Throw the kunai here. And I guess I just attack with the Nezumi Prowler. Target opponent. They're gonna crew, I'm assuming. That's okay. I want them to lose something to my Nezumi Prowler. And now we have a 4-3. A 4-3 with a lifelink, I might add. Discard a card. I was gonna say I did that wrong, but I don't think I did. The more I think about it. Alright. So I could play the Tawashi Sun Shaper and I think I'm just gonna let the long reach discard my Tawashi. Yeah, just having the 4-3 is significant enough. I'm gonna let them make me lose my Tawashi. Long reach is very powerful here, but they are very low on health. I have a few cards that can just push in that final damage, and once I do, that's game. That thing's going to be powerful though. 1, 2, 3 creatures already engraved. And yeah, cards like this are going to help them pull out. Thank God this is an artifact. If that wasn't an artifact, I'd be in so much trouble right now. Alright. I almost want to... I should have actually pulled off the rabbit battery in case they have another long reach. Alright. Alright. And just in case they have another long reach, I am disabling the rabbit battery. Actually, I could have just discarded the swamp. Whatever, this is a 4-3. No! They can now Ninja's Kunai, killing the Mukotai Ambusher. Start with this. Alright. Okay, at least force them. Oh, I have... This I think is lethal now. Because now I tap down this. They respond by killing my Mukotai Ambusher. But I respond by then crewing this with the rabbit battery. And then using the rabbit... Configuring the rabbit battery onto the hover bike. I think I drew too many lands that game. Well, so did they. Yeah, 7. They got 7 lands. That is too many lands. That was a much tougher fight. Too many lands, but I hate going down to 6, and I have a Dockside to help fetch me out of the land situation. Hopefully. So we're going to Dockside Chef first. The next turn we're going to... Hopefully they don't play a creature here. I can attack. Yep. That is a... This is very terrifying what they're doing, but... This allows me to get my lifelink back up. I'm happy to trade with a Reckoner Raid. They are going to put an Ear of Vutri on it, but don't worry, it comes back when it gets exiled. It gets exiled as an enchantment, so it actually does not gain the Menace effect. This can give Indestructible. I did not realize this card could give Indestructible. Good to know that about you to revert you. Lethal Exploit is, I'm guessing, the card that they're considering. Oh, Gravelighter. Hmm. And this will get flying if we let it get equipped. I could Seismic Wave prevent that from equipping, but I have a feeling they're going to be playing a lot of small creatures. And I want the Seismic Wave. I don't want to be busy defending when I could be striking, basically. And the fact that I was willing to play a Synthesizer on turn 2 should tell them a lot about my deck. Alright. Alright, do I want Ninja's Kunai and kill, and then I can develop Dockside? I think that's the play. Alright. Best defense is a good offense? That is correct. But right now, it looks like they want to be the offense. And they have a Ear of Virtue to support such a decision. Alright. That at least stops their attack phase. But now that weapon gives flying to whoever is equipped with it. I can Dockside and ready a sack fodder, or I could hold up the Seismic Wave. I think I ready the sack. So, if they target any of my cards, I could sacrifice and draw. Until end of turn, not until the start of the the next end phase. Alright. That might have just ended the game. Go attack, buff into a 3/4. Yeah, AO is absurd, and if I let them equip the Eater of Virtue, that's an issue. All right, so I could Seismic Wave, attack that, swing in, discard the Ironhoof Boar to help get through, but. To put simply, then they just get a bunch of stats with it. I'm going to attack with the Inkrise, see how they respond. Alright. So now at least I killed the AO. And if they buff the Nezumi with 2/2, alright, yep, that was the expected result, unfortunately. We hope they don't get good cards here. Or if they do get good cards, that they kind of falter in the face of Seismic Wave. Because yeah, AO is a one-man win condition. It's hard to beat is to understate. I think I just developed Tawashi. I could take a hit here, and yeah, I think I just developed Tawashi. They're gonna have some threats next turn. Yep. Just this one card. The legendary, these mythic legendary dragons are built to be just like untouchable threats. And surprise, surprise, this is actually the best of the said untouchable threats. Alright. So I can sacrifice this to draw a card, but then I can't play the Seismic Wave. I think I need a Seismic Wave to start clearing this out. I can then attack with... The attacks aren't even that good. I'll go for... See if I can get a land or a burn spell or just something of value. Land. Alright. So now I can actually Okaiba Reckoner Raid. And then on their turn I Seismic Wave them. Take out the Road Captain and their Spirited Companion. Can't attack right now. And yeah, they have an Eater of Virtue, which is an amazing rare, and an Ao the Dawn Sky, which is an amazing mythic. So we are just facing someone who has an insane deck. So everything we scrap together here is a victory of in its own. I need to stun the bleeding at some point. I hope I can pull it off. I'm trying to think what cards I can pull that will help. The problem is this Eater of Virtue is just accruing them a lot of threat. The Dynasty Scrounger being an artifact to protect it, and the 4/4, and now they're going to have a 6/4 Flying Vigilance. And if I hit the 6/4, if I kill the 6/4, then guess what? Future Thieves they equip. That helps a lot. That helps a ton. Destroy the Eater of Virtue. And upgrade my Minazumi Prowler. I can't really attack with it though. This is getting discarded. That probably should have been done first. I'm going to hold this in case Long Reach of the Night comes up. I know it sounds rare, but... Just hoping they misplay at this point. Alright. We're just going to take 2. And they could start getting treasure tokens, but it doesn't really help them much. Do I sacrifice this to get more energy? Let's see, what do we got? Twin Shot, Twisted Embrace, yes. In case you're wondering why I didn't block with that first, this thing has Menace. That blocking is not an option. Alright, we got the Anvil. So we're gonna equip that first. Question is, do we kill their Road Captain or their Scrounger? I think the Road Captain at this point. We're gonna leave that in hand, actually. We're just gonna leave this as is. My guess is they actually have lands in hand to prevent discard, because they have not played them despite having 7 mana. The only other possibility is Farewell, in which case I want to have the mana open for Dockside. Those are like the three possibilities. That's basically the two possibilities. Lands and the spell Farewell, which, given that they have Eater of Virtue and AO, I would not put Farewell past them. Drawn 7 lands and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. They're actually kind of mana flooded then. The cards they got are absolutely bananas. If they attack with Undercity Scrounger, I'm okay double blocking. I'm gonna wait till I have fodder for the Anvil before I play the Anvil. They are now the one in pressure. Actually, nah. We'll take one. See what you got. Alright. Cool. Alright, Lethal Exploit gives -3. I win this race. If they ninjutsu something, most ninjutsus die to Lethal Exploit. Alright. And yeah, just going to keep game... I'm going to accrue lands in my hand to make sure that they can't Long Reach of the Night me. Because Long Reach of the Night will cause me to discard, and it's if you have it, you want it, basically. So, Touch of the Spirit Realm. Okay, so they're going to probably exile the Nuzuni Road Captain. And I'm going to respond by drawing a card. All right. Okay. So this is a crazy set of plays. But I think it's time we start developing. If they have Farewell, good for them. Let's see. And I will have enough to trigger the Dockside Chef if they decide that's their plan. Death Touch and Lifelink. We then attack for 1. That's Death Touch, so they're not blocking. There's Wanderer's Intervention, and I'm okay sacrificing. Alright. Sacrifice an artifact. And now this Dragonspark reactor is building up. And if they have Farewell, I will be able to draw a card off of Dockside Chef before everything goes to Oblivion. And I will have a removal spell in hand already. And the rest of my deck is pretty aggressive. We have a Reckoner Base Buckster, a Twin Shot Sniper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, half my deck is lands at this point. Did not realize that. Alright. Go on Lethal Exploit, just get rid of that at the end of their turn. And that still triggers. And this Dragonspark reactor is slowly developing a win condition. Yes, they have infinite mana, but that's not an issue. Not for me. Okay, and I think that's the game. If they don't have something to stop me... I like to remind everyone, this is the person who played an Eater of Virtue and an AO the Dawn Sky. Mecha117 did not have a bad deck. They flooded out. I'm not going to deny they flooded out. 7, 8, 9 versus 10 lands. Not to mention two of these playables were from AO. And we're assuming these are 2 lands in their hand. You did not just, you said at the beginning, I believe you can pull it off. You did not doubt me at once, Lambo Droid. I doubted myself more than you doubted me. This was fantastic. And this is why Dockside Chef is better than Life of Soshiro Umezawa in these sorts of decks. The fact that I can sacrifice is actually very important to just keep funneling into my win conditions. If you don't have this deck, Life of Soshiro is just a better card generally, but this deck, card advantage is major. Dragon Spark just basically, in this turn, 4 turns faster. And this game, 4 turns faster. Alright, Dockside into Tawashi or Papercraft? I mean, I'm keeping this hand. It has fuel the whole way through. I think I'm going to start with Tawashi. Papercraft, I don't exactly... Papercraft, I kind of want... Alright, so here's one of the reasons why Seismic Wave is amazing. It's going to kill the Fane of Shigeki for free. Unless they give it a buff somehow. Are they going to use a Master's Rebuke? Okay. So that is a 1-for-1, but it is value on their side, not mine. I'm going to play the Tawashi. And now they got to leave up. The Seismic Wave should hit them hard. I'd rather Seismic Wave to kill this than Lethal Exploit to kill it. They go to Ninjutsu. Coiling Stalker. Alright, so this is now 3-2. Alright. I think I just Papercraft Decoy, get right, attack for 3, and I'm ready to block that if I want. Alternatively, I have Seismic Wave, I have Bank Buster. I could just Lethal Exploit this. I could just attack and hold up Seismic Wave. Yeah. Because they're going to play the Fane, they're going to attack with Coiling Stalker, and my Seismic Wave should kill both. Alright. Well, if they're not going to do it that way, I'd rather just Lethal Exploit this. Get rid of it now. There we are. Now my Seismic Wave. Kill the Golem Tail. Yep, and that's why Seismic Wave is great. So I just 2-for-1 there. And you might notice, even though we're the aggro deck, there's a difference in hand sizes. Significant difference in hand sizes. So they have some powerhouses if they have the mana for them. Blossom Prancer into Blossom Prancer is like the best possibility for them. Alright. They're going to Reckoner into Papercraft and attack in for basically force a block. Alright. Yeah, this Blossom Prancer is an insane card. The fact that they had a Blossom Prancer into a Blossom Prancer is really devastating for me. Alright. Well, I can Papercraft Ironhoof Boar to make the trade work, and then still draw a card in the process. And if they don't block, Mukotai Ambusher. So, I get card advantage either way. Alright. And I think at this point we're trying to win the game, unfortunately, through grind, which is terrifying to do against green decks, especially these enchantment-based green decks. Because if they happen to have Shigeki is a rare, but if they happen to have Shigeki, this entire plan falls apart. Alright. We're going to hold up Seismic Wave and a Mukotai Ambusher, because if they play Spirit Companion, I can do the Geothermal double kill again. Could have high-speeded. Oh well. Do they have a ninja? Alright. We're going to take the hit. And so here they're going to play this. Draw a card, and then they're going to Kami. And I'm going to Seismic Wave in response to the Kami landing on the ground, which will kill the Spirit Companion and the Kami. Here we are. And now, as long as they don't have ways to retread their graveyard, we pulled it out for the most part. Alright. Alright, so they kept one card in hand, or at top. Alright, so I can high-speed hoverbike, attack, bring out the Mukotai Ambusher, and still have 2 mana left over. This thing has reach, so... And the cool thing about this is it brings back effectively a removal spell to my hand. Alright. And do I just develop the Inkrise, or do I ready to draw with Reckoneer? Developing the Inkrise, I think, is more prevalent of forwarding my game plan. Alright. Alright. So they have a 5/4. I can crew the hoverbike, but I can't crew the Bank Buster. Alright. I take 5, they get a land from their hand. Play. Ah, it doesn't work. I was gonna say, this area of the battlefield gives this lifelink and Death Touch, but the timing when they can be played does not line up. Alright. I'm gonna just continue with my pressuring plan. Let them draw some lands, deal with life as it comes at me. Alright, and since that's upgraded, we can now crew for 3 using this one. I'm gonna crew for 1 using this one. And we forward our win condition. They do have a lot of lands, and they're thinning their deck, technically, using the Kodama, but the fact is they have to thin their deck. Alright. If they're putting down the Kodama, they're saying they're attacking with the Kodama, which I am happy to see. I am very happy to see. Wait, hold up. 1, 2... Okay, 1, 2, 3... 3, 4, 5. Okay, so hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They block... Yep. They block here, and I still deal lethal damage. neutral. I'm gonna do Twin Shot Sniper, I guess. And then I'm going to crew. Yeah, I think I know this is lethal, so we're just gonna go with the safe lethal. There we are. This deck is way better than I thought, because it's lasting into these long games and preventing them from doing their geothermal Spirit Companion combo shenanigans. Alright. This is not an easy keep. This is not an easy keep at all. I know you might see like, oh, Dragon Spark and Oni-Cult, but we don't have an initiator. We don't have a creature. I've been okay. Birthday was recent, so getting old. Always happens with birthdays. That's just general passing of time. Oof. Alright, so they're kind of a Zorgus control style deck. We have a Kami's Flare for that. I would like to draw a play other than Oni-Cult Anvil here. Tawashi Son Shaper or the like. Good enough. I could sack the Dragon Spark to trigger the Oni-Cult, but I don't think that's worth it. They're blue-white, so we do not have to worry about the 2-mana destroy an artifact, get +1/+1, and the chances of them running Lucky Offering is pretty low. Alright, we have a Kami's Flare target now. And they already got value off of it, though. Oh my god, they got so much value off of this! Look at this! Alright. Can't Twisted Embrace. Yeah, just make sure they don't have a counterspell or something for me. Lethal Exploit can't get the Modern Age, but if they play a creature and end up equipping Moon Circuit Hacker to it, I do have a response that way. Because the Moon Circuit can be lethal exploited before it deals combat damage. But yeah, that was a lot of value from Greasefang. Also, they have they're Esper, and they got their 3 colors right off the bat. But even if I kill the Moon Circuits, they're gonna get a Vector Glider. Like, we are not out of the woods, not in the slightest. We can't play Twisted Embrace because we don't have enough black mana. We don't have an artifact to start off the Reactor Anvil combo. If I draw Twin Shot Sniper, do I just shoot face and start up the Anvil? Alright. Now I can't play Lethal Exploit, but they're not going to be exploiting that anyways. But yeah, I stumbled, and they just... Every card here has shown quality maneuvering. They now get an attack for 5 or so. And I need to draw a Swamp in the next 2 turns so I can Twisted Embrace the Nozumi Road Captain, during which I need to somehow survive this Vector Glider. That's only getting bigger and stronger. And also they haven't they drew 2 cards and they didn't lose any thanks to Greasefang's. may have wanted to just not play anything on turn 3 so I could kill the Grease Vein before the recovery unit comes back, because that was the only possible play to... Okay. So we're going to just sack this to the Anvil afterwards. That's okay. That is okay. We just sack the reactor to our Anvil and continue with our lives. We're going to attack in for 2, and then we'll probably cycle this at the end of turn. Like, on their turn. Unless they play something worth lethal exploiting. But yeah, we need that swamp. For the twist embrace on the Vector Glider. And discarding this gives me another draw that swamp. Oof. Oh my god. So this is another win condition that they just pulled out of their grave. So they just keep dropping win conditions on us. And good win conditions by the way. Didn't get the extra swamp. I could use the Rapid Barrier to go aggressive. I'm not even sure if that's valuable, honestly. Wait. Now I can crew it with both of them. And then equip the Rabbit Battery. And then reconfigure this onto the Reckoner. So now I have lethal pressure set up against them, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last when they have 8 cards in hand. Also, they got mana ruined as well. Never mind. But yeah, we are somehow the aggressor despite everything that went wrong. Oof. If I kill the Rabbit Battery, I could just Oni-Cult Anvil really quick. Yeah, their deck, it looks like they have 1,000 decisions to make, and we have 1 right now. It's not the best decision, but it's a decision. And that's kind of our situation right now. This is an enchantment. Brute Suit. Okay. With that, I think they start winning the race. Yep. Not much I can do. They're threatening lethal in a very few turns. Alright, I think I just crew an attack. And then I sacrifice the Papercraft Decoy to draw a card. Yep. I think I just need that card draw and that life gain right now. Because, yeah, we're facing down lethal in like half a turn. Oof. And they can stop us from playing 2 drops or 3 drops, which means we basically only have like the Iron Hoof Boar attack. We are nearing lethal on them, but that only stops them from attacking us as aggressively. It doesn't actually give us the win, itself. As long as Reckoner Baitbuster is a creature, Lethal Exploit deals the additional damage. And now they bounce my 1/1. I would be shocked if they bounce my Rabbit Battery. Alright, so that stops me from playing 4-drop, so I can't play Twist Embrace even if I get Swamp, and now I can't play anything in my hand. Yep. So that is the game, unless I can finagle my way through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So if I attack, I deal 4 damage with Rabbit Battery, assuming everything goes perfectly. I'm going to start by cracking this. Drawing ourselves a card. There's no way I survive a turn because Vector Glider. Doesn't even matter, I couldn't do anything. The only way I win is if I attack and they make the mistake of not blocking. Yep. Good game. But yeah. We went for our out. But yeah, we did not have the best start, and my god did they have a good one. We got them low. We actually got surprisingly close, given how absurd that was. Turn 2, Dragon Spark Reactor. Turn 3, Experimental, looking for a land. Holding up Kami's Flare. And I do not like mulliganing very often. Yeah, but I do not like these hands that are having no creatures. I need to go look at my creature count in a little bit, because this is happening too consistently. We're going to develop the Dragon Spark Reactor for now. Kitsune Ace is not so threatening as to need a Kami's Flare right now. And besides, that means I could explosive entry whatever vehicles they play. Such as that. Alright. I'm gonna start with the explosive entry anyways, or this synthesizer anyways. Alright. Wait for them to crew the Mukutai, and then I could just Kami's Flare it, if I'd like. Actually cancel. I'm gonna let them attack because they might sacrifice something for it. Alright. Do they have a protection spell? If they do, then the explosive entry will just accrue more value later. Alright. But yeah, I'd be shocked if they play Kitsune Ace and this is their only... Alright. Get our swamp. Okay. So I could Ninja's Kunai and Nizumi Prowler. I think I'm just gonna Ninja's Kunai and get ready to lethal exploit the Kitsune Ace as they try to pump it. Alright. Yep. They didn't have a protection for the Soul Ripper, they're not going to have one for the Ace. Unless they just drew it. In which case, that tells us a lot about their card draw. Alright, do I just... Yeah. I'm going to use the Synthesizer. I'm going to make sure to tap a black as part of the ability cost. And we're going to equip the Kunai with our last point of mana. Alright. And I have Life of Sushiro. And I can Explosive Entry the Enormous Energy Blade after they equip it. If that's what they want to do. And that will give me a 3/3 Samurai. Alright, I think it's time I just play the Nezumi Prowler. And I'll turn it into a 4/2. I like that Dragon Spark can already do that. It's pretty nice. Alright. So unfortunately, they are ahead of me when it comes to cards. Alright. Both Ninja's Kunai. And yeah, I think I do have the advantage though, because I only have 15 lands in my deck, so I'm drawing into more gas. Dragon Spark Reactor is there if they play something that I find actually threatening. Alright, they have another Lethal Exploit. Listen, I don't like drawing half my land. Okay, it's half the deck, I guess. I can Dragon Spark Reactor if they do something really threatening, but otherwise I'm just going to use this Kunai to kill the memory next turn. They do have more health, so I have to play the long game with them, whether or not I want to. They're waiting for me to trigger my Dragon Spark. They have Naomi Pillar of Order, or something similar, I think, as that last card. Alright, now I can't block their Road Captain, so I'm just going to attack my Road Captain over it. Tough call. Do I leave up the Dragon Spark? So I gotta leave up the Dragon Spark. I think that's more threatening than long... Losing my Dragon Spark for no cost is more threatening than seeing a Long Reach of the Knight. If they had a Long Reach, they would have played it already, but a Farewell would make sense. Long Reach, as I... like... There are cards that make sense, basically. Awesome. And because of Dragon Spark Reactor, they're basically at 10 health now. We're basically tied in health. And now we get more card advantage. I'm going to wait for next turn so I can still Dragon Spark if something goes awry. Yep. Well, that's 7-1. Our one loss was due to that weird mana game where the person got so much value off of Kaiba. 8, 9, 10 lands versus 10 lands. Okay, so not one of us got mana screwed. Wait, 7-1. There is no difference between 7-0 and 7-2, and 7-1 is right in between. So as long as you get 7 wins, who cares how you get there? 7-0 is just for prestige more than anything. So yeah, with that. So before I close this out, I like to look at this and just get a sense of what cards performed well, which cards did not perform. I think the reason this worked is because every card performed well. Seismic Wave did fantastic. Dockside Chef won me a game. Ink Rise was okay. This is not the deck for it, but still okay. Lethal Exploit was still a kill spell. Kami's Flare is still a kill spell. Dragon Spark Reactor won me several games. Ironhoof Boar did its job. Twinge Nuts. Twisted Embrace slightly underperformed, but that's just because of the lack of black mana. Reckoner Bankbuster wasn't as all-encompassing as I expected it to be. It was good. It was definitely good, but it was a little harder to use. The Papercraft Decoys were impressively useful given the 3 ninjas. Oni-Cult did fine, even though this wasn't the perfect deck for it, sort of thing. Reinforced Ronin did fine. Yeah, just had a lot. Every card did its job at least, and that's why this won. Ninja's Kunai was a little weak there. Doesn't work if you can't develop a creature and put it on. All right, pop open the packs that we got in the process, and then we'll move on to the next one. Hey, Kyodai. So I was around during the original Kamigawa. That's when I started Magic the Gathering. So the story of Kyodai is great. I thought it was going to be the Wanderer. Do you have it just be the person that was chosen? Like the Wanderer. Hey, Coyote, you want me to make a deck with you? Okay, I'll try to find a way, okay? You can stop showing up. But yeah, great story with That Which Was Taken. I really liked it. I predicted the Wanderer was going to be That Which Was Taken. It turns out it was the person That Which Was Taken chose. That's what I was trying to say. Alright. All fine cards. All fine cards. Game these important wild cards over here. Gloom Shrieker's filling up. Satsuki. Pretty fun card, but just not really good enough is the main problem. Because, like, Saga's... Like, the fact that this activates only as a sorcery really limits its potential. And Sagas, they don't really care... If you're willing to play a Saga, you don't care how fast the Saga comes out. You care about all the value along the way. You'll survive. So... It's kind of a 2-mana 1-3 a lot of the time. March of Swirling Mist. This card, I believe with Hinata the Dawn Crown, has been seen in play. Tribute to Hirobi. Nice. Nice little card. Just hard to find a slot for it. It's a good aggressive card, but a lot of the aggressive decks already have sacrifice fodders, and giving them 1/1s is dangerous. Iganjo! Hey, alright. So the first of every single one of these legendary lands is amazing. Because there is a no cost of playing one Iganjo instead of a Plains. Unless you have something specifically for basic lands, there's no cost of playing an Iganjo instead of a Plains. So, if you could get one of each of the legendary lands, that is like a pristine mana base for like whatever deck you're playing, because you can always slot one of those legendary lands into your deck in the place of a basic. There's very few cases where that is not the case. Oof. Quickly drop a little Mastery Orb, because why not? Alright. And with that... Oh wow, there's a lot of Mastery Orbs. Okay, we'll just get ourselves this little card style here. Or we'll get ourselves closer to it. And with that, we had a good draft. 7-1, forced Oni-Cult Anvil, and it worked without. And that's always what you want your deck to be. You never want to rely on a single card. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.